All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Malzberg panel, and joining us on the panel today, Brad Hirschfield, author of You Don't Have to Be Wrong for Me to Be Right and president of CLAL, and Adam Thompson, senior partner at the law offices of Adam M. Thompson, criminal defense attorney and syndicated talk show host. Gentlemen, earlier today, the Alabama Chief Supreme Court Justice, a man by the name of Roy Moore, who many of us are familiar with, issued a direct order defying the U.S. Supreme Court. He has issued an order banning all lower judges in the state from providing marriage licenses to same-sex couples. Here's what he said, quote, "Until further decision by the Alabama Supreme Court, the existing orders of the Alabama Supreme Court that the probate judges have a mistrial duty not to issue any marriage license contrary to the Alabama Sanctity of Marriage Amendment or the Alabama Marriage Protection Act remaining full in effect and in full force." So how can he do this? How can any state do this, Adam?
Listen, judges can almost do what they want. Does it mean it's proper and lawful what he's doing? Absolutely not. This guy is a fool. He may be a Supreme Court judge, but guess what? The Supreme Court of the United States, the supreme deciding making body on these issues in the country, has already ruled on this. End of the ball game, it's done. Same-sex marriages are permissible. Anyone in any state has to follow the law regarding this. That means signing marriage certificates, doing whatever it is. This guy's wrong. If he doesn't want to do it, he should then remove himself from office. If he refuses to do it, he should be impeached. And nobody should follow his directives. They should say, sorry, I'm following the direction of the Supreme Court. This guy's a knucklehead.
Who makes the next move here? Does the Justice Department? Does the Supreme Court? What could we?
Well, the Supreme Court isn't an enforcement body. They're just
right. So,
but the executive branch can't step in. You can't have the Department of Justice step in and say you have to follow what the directives are and the rulings of the Supreme Court. This is the law of the land, and if you don't, they could try to take action, and that could mean impeachment proceedings.
You know, Brad, this is something that certainly I would think Republicans could run on, especially today, as we will talk about in a second, passing in the House the repeal of Obamacare, which was passed in the Senate under reconciliation earlier, which is a change in the rules where you need a majority, not a filibuster, not a 60 votes, but a majority. So President will veto that, but they also wanted to fund Planned Parenthood. They're voting on that. So this could be something else if the candidate is willing to take up this social issue. Hey, get the right Congress in there, get the right president in there, and we'll overturn the Supreme Court decision.
Well, first of all, they don't have the power to overturn the Supreme Court.
Sure, they could. They could make a law. They could. Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Not. But here's the thing, Steve. If someone wants to make this an issue to run on, fine. If Judge Moore wants to leave the bench and become an anti-gay marriage activist, fine. But what he's doing now is buffoonery of the highest order. It's cost him his job in the past. He did this with the Ten Commandments, lost his job, sat on the sidelines doing nothing, and came back in to defeat a very unpopular Democrat. The other piece of this is he fundamentally doesn't understand what the judge's job is, inviting them to fulfill their ministerial duties and not issue these licenses. They're not ministers. Something is really off the tracks here. I get it. He's opposed to gay marriage. Many Americans are. He has every right to be. He has no right to abuse his office as a judge in order to push that agenda.
We'll see what comes out of this. I want you to listen to this this councilman, a Jackson, Mississippi councilman, a city councilman, talking about police coming into the neighborhood in certain circumstances. Listen to this.
I suggest we get the black leadership together, and as these jurisdictions come into Jackson, we throw rocks and bricks and bottles at them. That'll send the message, we don't want you in here.
Kenneth Stokes is his name, and he has doubled down. He has said he stands by his words. That's the last report I saw. I mean, Adam, are there legal grounds here? Incitement or, threatening a law officer? I mean, I'm sure that the cops in that jurisdiction would certainly like to see him charged with something like that.
Boy, people from around the world are watching this one particular segment on your show. And this is a reflection of the people that we have in important elected positions, such as the previous judge and this guy. They must think we're the most foolish country in the world. This guy is beyond stupid and a fool. Ignorance is being too polite to him. Trying to incite citizens against police officers is as bad as it gets. This guy can potentially be criminally charged if citizens do take action and harm police officers and then say, hey, listen, this guy said do it. I thought it was okay. This guy can potentially be charged for inciting people to riot or to take action against police officers. It's very interesting where this could go in a legal criminal direction, but it's completely wrong what he did. I hope no one follows him, and it's as disrespectful as you can be to our law enforcement.
Brad, you know, I haven't heard, maybe I just haven't heard it. I haven't heard the president. I haven't heard Loretta Lynch. I haven't heard anybody in the media on the liberal channels or the mainstream channels showing this and talking about it and having panels on it. This guy should be kicked out. This guy should resign. Nothing. Nothing.
Well, as you know, Steve, I'm 6,000 miles away, so I can't argue with you. But I have to say, my own quick search online yielded the same thing, and it's horrific. And I want to be clear. Whether or not someone follows him, I don't understand why saying it isn't illegal. I don't understand why inviting violence against police officers is in itself a criminal act. Adam's the lawyer.
Well, Adam, we got 10 seconds. Is it a criminal act, Adam?
It can potentially. It's up to the district attorney.
Okay, good enough. All right, guys, appreciate it. Really great talking to you. Up next, folks, president of Stwerk.com, Scott Rasmussen will be here. Don't go away.